Hey guys, hey, you're on the right channel, so don't go anywhere. Wait, don't go anywhere. Keto Jamaican Girl will be right back with her vegetable recipe. This is going to be a collaboration with myself. My name is Michelle. My channel name is Life Adventures and Keto, and just like the name says, I vlog a lot of our life, a lot of our adventure, and a lot of keto. So today is going to be vegetable recipes. Sometimes I think that the vegetables get a little bad rap because some people on keto don't exactly like vegetables like Keto Jamaican Girl and myself do. So we thought we would bring you 2 vegetable recipes today. Stay tuned for Keto Jamaican Girl's recipe, and don't forget to come by and see me over on my channel for vegetable recipe number 2. Keto on and keto strong. Here comes the recipe.
Hey goodies, Nastassja here, also known as Keto Jamaican Girl. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, on this channel I share keto tips, keto tricks, and delicious keto recipes full of flavor. Now today I am collabing with my good friend Michelle to bring to you guys some recipes that are filled with low carb vegetables. It's so important that we incorporate low carb vegetables in our keto diet to keep our systems flowing and to keep our bodies healthy. So I'm bringing to you a recipe today that you're definitely going to want to try. So get your notepad, get your pen, get some keto snacks, and let's go. Oh, before we start, I just want to show you guys my little apron here that I got from one of our goody crew members, Tone. Thank you so much. I love the apron. I love it. As you guys can see, it has my little N here, Nastassja, Keto Jamaican Girl. I love it. So we're gonna head into this recipe right now. You're not gonna want to miss this. Let's get the ingredients together. So what we're making is a vegetable quiche, a keto vegetable quiche, and it's going to have lots of low carb vegetables, lots of flavor, and it's great for meal prep because you can cook it, put it in the freezer, and reheat it, and it's still so good. The first thing I'm going to do is cut up our plethora of vegetables, so let's go and do that now. Okay, so the vegetables that I plan to use in our keto vegetable quiche are spinach. I'm also going to be using some mushrooms. I'm also going to be using some red onion here, and I'm going to be using some bell peppers. So let's start by cutting up our bell peppers. So our peppers are all cut up. Now we're going to go on to our mushrooms. I love using a wide variety of colors because when you cut into that quiche, it has such a beautiful color. So this is why I'm using the colors that I'm using. I'm all about texture and color. I'm going to take a handful of my spinach that I got from my grocery haul at Sam's. If you haven't checked out any of my grocery hauls yet, go ahead to my grocery haul playlist and you'll see all of my keto grocery hauls. So last but not least, we're going to go ahead now and cut up our onions. Okay, so now that we have our onions, spinach, mushrooms, and peppers all cut up, we are going to head over to the stove because now we are going to cook our vegetables down in some coconut oil just to bring all the flavors together and soften up our vegetables. So come with me over to the stove. Now I'm going to get some coconut oil and I'm going to put about a tablespoon here in our pot. Okay, we're good and melted, so I'm going to add our onions here. We see some spinach sneaking in, but it's okay. We will be fine. So I'm just going to move the onions around here in our coconut oil. And once our onions become translucent, I know I can add the rest of our veggies. And as this onion is cooking down here, it's infusing our coconut oil with flavor. Now to this, I'm going to add a smidgen of minced garlic. I have the jar minced garlic, and I'm going to add whatever I have left from this jar into our onion and coconut oil, and that's going to give our mixed vegetables here so much more flavor. Now to this, I'm going to add our spinach now, and we're going to let our spinach cook all the way down to release all of that moisture. You know, spinach cooks down to almost nothing. You'll start out with a big container of spinach, and once you start cooking it, you wonder where all the spinach went. So yeah, that's all our spinach. So we're gonna continue to cook all of this in high heat, and we're gonna let our spinach wilt away and release all of the moisture, because we don't want any watery quiche. So we just want to get rid of all that moisture from the spinach. This is starting to smell amazing already, and we didn't even add our seasoning yet. So now that our spinach is good and cooked down, we're going to add the remainder of our veggies. So here come our mushrooms and our bell peppers. We have a whole vegetable medley here, and it is so beautiful. All of these colors coming together, it is so beautiful. And when you cut into your quiche and you can see all of this, you're going to be in love. To that, I'm going to add some seasoning. So the first seasoning I'm going to add is some all-purpose seasoning. Sprinkle just enough to cover the surface area. And then to that, I'm going to add some seasoned salt. Just enough to cover the surface area again. Just for a little bit more spice, I'm going to add a couple shakes of black pepper. So that's going to add even more flavor to our vegetable quiche. So I'm going to move this all around just to make sure all of our veggies are equally incorporated. Everything has the same amount of seasoning and flavor. So when we add it to our quiche, it will be so delicious. So I'm going to turn my fire down low now and just let this sit in the seasoning and all of these veggies. I'm just going to let them sit together and soak up the flavor, and we're going to go ahead now and prepare our egg mixture. Alright, so we're going to start out with 1.5 cups of flour. That's my oven. I preheated my oven at 350 degrees. So I'm going to do 1.5 cups here of almond flour. Now to that, I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of coconut flour. You know, coconut flour is very absorbent. So coconut flour is going to help our quiche crust come together very well. So I have a 1/2 teaspoon measure here, and I did it 3 times. So that's 1.5 teaspoons of coconut flour. Now to that, I am going to add 2 tablespoons of my Irish butter. And I'm just going to cut 2 tablespoons here. I love that they have the measures here on the wrapper, so you can just cut it accurately. And then just peel that off. And voila, we have 2 tablespoons. So I'm just gonna cut this into our flour here. We have our coconut flour, almond flour. So the butter, the coconut oil, all of that's gonna come together to make a delicious crust for our quiche. Now, to that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of water, all roughly measured here. So 1, 2, and if I need to, I'll add another teaspoon. But I'm just gonna use my hand here, and I'm just gonna keep on using the butter to tie all of the flour together. So you see the butter coming through there? I'm just gonna keep using my hand to press and squeeze my flours. I don't know if you can see here what it's coming out as. This is what the flours are coming together as, and we're going to press this mixture. Once it's uniform, we're going to press this into our pan. If you have a food processor, that would be a lot faster to get it into a uniform ball, but I like to make my recipes as easy as possible for everyone to follow, so not everybody has a food processor. So just keep using your hands until this becomes a uniform mixture of dough. Yeah, our dough is coming together, so just keep on working at it. So now we have a uniform mixture of coconut flour, almond flour, butter, and water. That's going to be our dough for our quiche. So I'm going to press this now into our oven safe pan. Find yourself an oven safe dish, and then bring your flour mixture into the dish. Now I'm going to press this down until it's spread out evenly into every corner of my dish. And however long that takes you to get that even, you do that. So like I said before, our oven is preheated at 350 degrees. And I'm not going to put our crust like all the way on the outside, just at the bottom, so that when you scoop up, when you cut into your quiche to get a slice of it, you will come up with a little crust at the bottom. If you have a circular dish and you want to bring your crust up to the sides, go for it. But I'm just going to have my crust at the bottom. So there goes our crust. It has my little finger dimples in there. And I'm going to head now over to the oven. I'm going to put it in the oven for about 7 to 10 minutes. And let's go ahead and create our egg mixture. Okay, so to our bowl here, we're going to add 8 eggs. Okay, so we cracked our 8 eggs. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix those eggs up. Now to these eggs, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. To our egg and cream mixture, I'm going to cut up about 5 slices of pepper jack cheese, and I'm going to add that to our mixture. And 5. And I'm using pepper jack cheese because it comes with a hint of spice, and it's also cheesy goodness. So there goes our pepper jack cheese. And if you want to do shredded cheese, you can do shredded cheese and just shred up the amount of cheese you want to incorporate into your quiche. But cheese is very important to your quiche because it ties it all together. So like I said, I'm using pepper jack. You can use whatever cheese you like and then just sprinkle it in. I don't like buying pre-shredded cheese anymore for several reasons. Google why shredded cheese is not the best for you. But yeah, that's why I'm using sliced cheese. And I'm just going to sprinkle them in there. I'm just going to put 1 more slice of pepper jack cheese. So that's 6 slices. I'm going with 6. Because 5, using an odd number, I don't know, it feels weird. So there you go, 6 slices of pepper jack cheese. I'm going to mix this all up. I'm going to add some seasoned salt here. And then to that, I'm also going to add just a little bit of garlic powder. And I'm going to mix that all up now. Our crust is just about ready. You're going to hear my oven beep out in a minute. So our crust is almost ready for us to add the remainder of our quiche to it. And it's going to be so good. That's our crust now. And I'm going to get our veggies and put it on top. And I'm going to be using a spoon with a strainer to put our vegetable in because I don't want it to take on any excess liquid. So I'm using a spoon that has the strainer to just let go of that liquid. I'm just going to spread my veggies out as evenly as possible in our oven safe dish. Now, if you want to make this into a meat dish, you could always cut up some ham, some bacon, whatever you can think of. And here, now would be the time to add that in with your flavor. So I'm putting down all of my vegetables here. And I left all the excess water in the pot. Now we're going to slowly pour in our egg mixture all over our veggies and our crust that was pre-cooked. And if you want your crust to be a little bit more firm or browner, you can always make it stay a little longer. So just make sure your cheese is spread out evenly, and so are your veggies and your eggs. Make sure everything is even. This is so beautiful. So you see there, our eggs, cheese, veggies, everything is well incorporated. So we're going to go put that back in our oven now that is sitting at 350 degrees, and we are going to cook it until our egg is cooked all the way through. Now the time that you leave it to cook all depends on the size of your dish. This shouldn't take more than 25 to 30 minutes to cook all the way through, but just check your egg like you would a cake and just make sure that it's cooked all the way through. So I'm going to put this into my oven now, and I'll be back with our finished keto vegetable quiche. So here is the finished product of our quiche. It looks and smells so good. Okay, so I have my plate here. We're going to cut into our quiche. I am so excited to see the yummy goodness that we came up with here. And like I said, this is great for meal prep because you can just cut a good 9 squares here. I'm using a square pan, but it all depends on the pan you use. But you can just cut squares like that and enjoy it for your breakfast or lunch. I tend to start my meals late in the day. That first cut is always the most awkward one because you want to make sure you're getting everything there at the bottom. So here goes our quiche cut onto our plate here. You see all the veggies. I want you to be able to see the crust here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it there, but you have your quiche, you have your egg mixture here. You see all the beautiful colors I was telling you about? The colors just look so cute. But now we're going to dig into it. We're gonna get that nice bite. But I just wanted to show you here the layers of our quiche there. Can you see it? First bite. This is amazing. I don't miss the meat. It's absolutely delicious. It's hot, but the flavors, remember we seasoned our vegetables and we also seasoned our egg, and then the coconut and the butter and the almond flour, all of it is coming together, so you're tasting the buttery crust and then your flavorful eggs and vegetables. This is really good. I'm gonna go sit down and really enjoy this. Guys, thank you for joining me. For those of you who have not subscribed yet, you definitely want to click subscribe so you can get in on these recipes, because we are going to do keto and we're going to do it with what? Flavor. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.